Hello, everyone. I'm just waiting for everybody to hop on. We have lots of awesome women joining us today. I'm so excited to have all of you. Hi, Nicole. Okay, hey, Laura. Thanks for being here, guys. Hey, Olivia. So take a moment as you're entering and share with us where you are beaming in from. Where are you located? Where are you? Hi, Carly. Hi, Jacqueline. Yay. Hi. Everybody's here. I feel like we're having an amazing virtual party with like an incredible group of women today. So excited. Kai, my dog, is here. He never leaves. He always wants to be in the action. Awesome. Pittsburgh. I think we have a lot of Pittsburgh ladies on this call, actually. Great. So again, if you're just hopping in, share with us in the comments where you're popping in from, where you're beaming in from, so we can get a feel for that. And just waiting for everybody else to join. I'm also going to be managing, making sure that everybody is able to get in who might be a little bit last minute with joining us. So managing the group, managing the comments. So just keep sharing in the comments below or to the side of this video, depending on how you're watching. Where are you beaming in from? Where are you? Okay, great. Okay. All right, awesome. Pittsburgh, Folly Beach, yay! Hi, Ashley, Ann. Wilmington, I didn't know that. Olivia, did you move? That's amazing. Or are you just visiting? Are you on vacation? Atlanta, New Orleans, Long Island, hi. Thanks for joining, you guys. So excited to see familiar faces and new faces. This is so awesome. Just approving some new people so that they can hop in. All right. So a lot of ladies registered for this. So I'm just trying to make sure that everybody is able to get in who is supposed to be here. Alrighty. So I'm going to pull this window, keep it little. All right. Cool. All right. So I feel like I've got a lot of tech happening right now. I have Zoom going to record this. I have the Facebook Live going because I couldn't figure out my Zoom wasn't working to get the live stream to happen through Zoom on Facebook. So we're just going with it. We have a lot of different tech things happening right now. Approving people to join in. We've got it. It's happening, guys. We're doing it. So excited to be here with you. Also, happy Martin Luther King Day. What a great day to talk about dreams, right? What a great day to gather and talk about your big vision for your business and your life and why your soul is here. I think this is also, you may hear some background noise of Kai playing with his toys. Can you go do that elsewhere? Just a precursor. So life is happening right now. And oh, hi, Erica. Hi, Olivia. Oh, so awesome. Okay. Yay. I love seeing all of you here. I'm so pumped to be here with you guys and to host this masterclass with you, for you, with you. This is such an exciting time, right? We just entered a new year. We just had a full moon eclipse last night. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. And so the energy is shifting, you guys. There are big things happening and I can feel it. I think you can feel it too. This year is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be a powerful year for all of us. And I know that if you are on this call live today and you are making the time to be here and show up in the middle of your day on a Monday, and some of you I know are also joining from like your lunch break, which I am just so grateful to have you and just so excited that you're here because that shows me and all of us and yourself that you are so willing to do the work to bring your dream to life. So I'm super excited about all of that. Let me just see. Let me make sure that we don't have anybody else trying to get in before we fully dive in today. Okay, so the next question, if you haven't yet shared where you're coming in from, it's all happening. Yes. Norristown. Awesome. Yes. Okay. So I've also been hearing from a lot of women who have worked with me in the past over the last couple of weeks, and amazing things are coming to fruition for them. Things that they've, like intentions that they've set years ago are happening. One of my previous clients, and who's now a really good friend of mine, Diana, is actually in Chile right now. I'm just so pumped for her. Starting a completely different business, but also sort of in the same vein of what she wanted to do when we worked together a couple of years ago. So it's just so cool to see things coming together. And I know Jacqueline is on this call with us, and she was in my Freedom is Sexy program a couple of years back. Was that 2 years ago? I guess. Time is flying, you guys. Are you feeling that too? So she was in my program too, and we put together a plan for her dream to come to life, and it's happening. She's getting, and there are so many reasons, guys, why this shouldn't even be happening at this point in her life, right? But it's happening because it's meant to be that way, because this is her soul's work. And I really believe that. And that's what I want to share with you guys today, how to create, whether you're in the launch phase, the growth phase, or the scaling phase of your business, how to create the business and build the business that your soul came here to create. Because guess what? Your soul did not arrive here by accident at this exact moment in time. And I believe that there are a lot of incredible women on this earth right now who are feeling called to do really important, beautiful work, and who also are just charged with such a mission, right? Like you feel like you are here for a reason. And I know I've felt like that from the time I was a really little girl. And awesome. This is so great. I love seeing all of you, where you're coming in from. I know from the time that I was a really little girl, I felt like there has to be a really big reason that I'm here. And part of that, I think, is because I'm a very old soul, which was confirmed the other day when I did a theta healing session with my healer, Fred, at my house, which is so fun. And we tested we did muscle testing and pendulum stuff and all kinds of amazing energy work, theta healing, and determined that my soul had incarnated between 2,000 and 3,000 times, which I thought was really cool because I've always felt like an old soul. So to have it be confirmed with a number felt really cool. So let's dive in. I'm sure that there will be more ladies popping in here requesting to join. So I'm just trying to balance how we do this. I've not done it this way before. So this feels really new and exciting to have you all here in this way. And I think it's going to be really great. I love having this little group of us where we can kind of interact together and make sure that we have enough space for everybody. Because if you don't know, on the tech side of things, Zoom is limited. So you can only have up to like 25 people, I think, at a time. So I wanted to make sure that we were all able to be here together in real time. Okay. So I also want you to pop in the comments below or next to this video, however you're watching. Why are you not where you want to be right now in your business? So in other words, what's stopping you from taking the action and pursuing building the business that your soul came here to create? What is in the way of that? What is in the way of you doing that? Is it fear? Is it excuses? Is it time? What do you feel is actually in your way? And I know that a lot of you, I've kind of pulled out about 5 major themes that I heard from you guys in your signups, like when you put that in your form. And thank you for doing that, because that was super helpful to see kind of where you are on your journey. So if you can pop that in the comments, that would be awesome. So what's standing in your way? Yes, absolutely, Jacqueline. You're supposed to be here. Yes, and that's the work that you do through genealogy, which is amazing. So happy about that. So yes, procrastinating perfectionism, fear of failure, fear. Yes. What is in your way? Again, the question is, what is in your way of having what you actually want, of bringing your vision to life, of doing your soul's work in the world, of building this business that you're here to build, or else you wouldn't even have a calling to build a business at all. That's the other beautiful thing about it, right? It's like, if you are feeling the pull, it is for you. It is not an accident that you have a certain set of desires, a certain set of experiences, a certain set of skills, a certain certain circumstances in your life. Sometimes we're going to be tested in a really big way to make sure that we are actually ready and willing to do the work it takes to fulfill our soul's calling, right? It's not always going to be a freaking cakewalk, but it's also when we get to the other side of that resistance, things can open up and be in total flow. And that's where I want to get you to, and at least get you on the path to today during this call. So it's really important to me that I add ton of value, that I help you to take massive action today, that I kind of bring the energy up in your life to be able to kind of create some momentum and get you moving forward in the direction of your dream. And again, like I said, Martin Luther King Day, how perfect for us to, okay, I'm new at these comments. So like all of you are popping in here. I'm so excited about it, but I didn't see it. Okay. Struggle with getting clients consistently. Yes. I am in my way. Yes, we all are, right? We're human beings who are wired, by the way, for survival and not for success. And so that's something that we're going to talk about today as well. When you stick with me on this call, we're going to talk about that because it's a big thing. We often don't realize like, oh, my brain is actually my internal operating system that's driving this whole life, that's creating this whole life, my subconscious belief system, everything is not actually wired to support the result that I want to create. And that's where our work is, right? That's where we have to do the work. That's where we have to excavate the stuff. It's where we have to keep showing up. It's where we have to build new patterning, new conditioning, everything to actually support and become a match for what we want to create and what we want to call in our life, right? Okay, self-doubt, newness to the field, fear, not sure where to start. Absolutely. For me, it's been mainly trusting the process financially. Oh, yes, girl, I got you. That is one of the hardest parts of this whole thing, right? Because we want security, and especially in our human mind, right? We want to be able to know that X amount is there, that we're going to be able to make it, that we're, that the bottom's not going to just drop out spontaneously one day. But unfortunately, that's not the path of entrepreneurship, right? And so your soul choosing entrepreneurship as a path is you saying, okay, I'm going to overcome that. I'm going to find a new way. I'm going to find a new pathway in to be able to trust and to be able to trust the process financially, but also in everything, that I'm always supported, that I remember that actually there are limitless possibilities, opportunities, creative solutions, people to serve. That is limitless. You are limitless. We are all limitless beings. It's just a matter of getting out of our own way with our human mind so that we can actually remember that truth of our soul, that we can actually remember why we came here, because your soul knows, and it speaks to you through desire. It speaks to you in so many ways. And oftentimes we just don't listen. One, because it's inconvenient. Two, because it actually it's in conflict with our human conditioning and our human mind that's wired for survival. And also because sometimes it just feels really fucking hard and we don't want to do it. We don't want to listen because we have this expectation and we want control over what actually we think we need to be doing when our soul is actually calling for something else. And let me tell you, friends, if you don't listen, it's going to get really loud and fucking ugly. Okay? You're going to be like, I mean, I've seen it manifest in so many ways for so many people, but if you don't listen to and pursue your soul's calling and do what you're being guided to do, it will be uncomfortable, but not in the same way. It will be like universal smackdown to get you to change your behavior, to get you to do the thing that you are here to do, because that's the whole point of this life, you guys. The whole point of being here, the whole point of your soul incarnating into a human experience is that so that you can grow and get the lessons that you can't get floating around in the ethers as a soul without form, right? And so that's the whole point. And if we approach it that way, and if we see it that way, and if we view it that way and perceive it that way, the whole game changes, right? The whole freaking game changes, because suddenly it's not about me being comfortable anymore. It's about me getting my growth, getting my lessons, doing the stuff, putting myself in uncomfortable, risky situations, not like physically risky, but you know what I mean? This path asks me to put myself in risk and in the unknown. And if I get to do that, that's a gift in itself, right? That I'm even being pulled and called to this work, because that means I am here for a reason and I'm close to knowing exactly what that is. And I'm just refining it now, right? I'm getting in deeper alignment with why my soul actually came here. Okay, what else is standing in your way? Time. So much time goes toward my full-time job, and I have little time left for yoga teaching and food blogging. Absolutely. Time is such a big one. We're going to talk about that. Live truly unique enough to stand out. I'm guessing that's supposed to say, is my life truly unique enough to stand out, Brandy? Yeah, absolutely. I hate marketing. Yeah, right. And a lot of times we hate marketing, or we have this bias towards something that we feel like we don't like in our business that actually can make it a lot easier for us, because the way that we've seen it done is not in alignment with the way that we are here to do it, right? And so when we are here to be revolutionary and we don't see something done in a way that we envision it being done, that's our invitation, girlfriend. That is your invitation to do it differently. That is your invitation to be the trailblazer that you're here to be, to change the whole game and to enjoy it and to find a way to make that fun for you. Okay. So, I'm not afraid, and I love what I do, but I'm practicing to release my attachments to the outcome. Oh, yes, that's the hardest thing, right? Is like intuition hits, we get the vision, or we get what we're supposed to do next, and then we start doing it, and then the results aren't coming in quick enough, right? For us. And we're like, oh, but that's what, I have this expectation around when it's supposed to happen, how it's supposed to happen, what it's supposed to look like, and yet it doesn't look like that at all, right? Yeah. Tricky stuff. This is why we need support. This is why we need containers to hold us and remind us that actually everything is working out perfectly. Growing pains. Yes, Carly, absolutely. And that, I think, is also evidence that, like, oh, I'm doing something that's stretching myself. It's uncomfortable. Growing pains, right? Lack of discipline and a path. It almost feels like what I am meant to do is a mix of so many things. It's hard for me to focus, and I'm super creative. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, all that creative energy needs somewhere to go. It needs a direction. It needs the space that's actually focused and intentional to channel it, to direct it, and to get it out. And I think how beautiful if you already know that you're creative, that you have so many ideas. It's just a matter of allowing them to flow through you freely and create, right? Actually bring the ideas into form. Absolutely. Sometimes I feel like I give, but no results. So I get upset and feel like I need to work harder. Yes. Oh my gosh. We are all struggling with this, right? Because what is the messaging that we see out there in the world? We see, I have to, you have to work hard to be successful. All these narratives that we're just being infiltrated in and reinforced all the time. So good, right? Like we have to rewire that shit. We have to change it, or else we're going to be a slave to the system our whole lives, and our internal system, not necessarily anybody else's. Even if we work for ourselves, we can create something that doesn't actually feel like freedom, right? We can create our own little jail cell for ourselves that feels like a little box that we have to try to fit in because of what we're seeing out there and what we're comparing ourselves to and what we're perceiving marketing or business or systems or revenue streams or whatever the hell, or marketing funnels or all the things, websites need to look like in order to be successful, because everybody's trying to sell something. Everybody's trying to get their method out there, right? And there are a lot of people online now trying to make a quick buck on a proven process or a proven system to make you 6 figures overnight. And guess what, friends? That's not sustainable. It's going to burn you out. It's going to have you feeling less than. It's going to freaking overwhelm you. And that's not your soul's plan. That's somebody else's soul's plan, right? And you can't just like overlap and layer somebody else's soul's work onto your work and have it work for you, right? Want to create a few more revenue streams, but having resistance and trouble creating some of this. Absolutely. It can be so confusing when we are in it, when it is our work and we're so close to it and it feels like it's a piece of us. It's our soul in motion. It's so hard to be able to discern what's the next step and what's the next right thing sometimes, right? We need reflection. We need people there holding our hand, walking the path with us, for sure. Yes. Wanting to value my knowledge and time, but also being accessible to people, finding the balance. Yes, absolutely, Allison. Yes. Okay, sisters, thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have you. Just want to hop in and just make sure that there's no one else trying to get into the group before we really dive into these different topic areas that I've kind of pulled out from your, let me see. Okay. That we pulled out from your form submissions. Thank you for doing that for me. It was so awesome to be able to read through that and kind of get a feel for where you're at. Okay, so yeah, okay. I have some notes, but also I'm just kind of channeling today. So we'll see what comes through. I'd rather just see what comes through and give that to you. So if you don't know me super well yet, I'm Emily Cassel, obviously. You see that on this page where you're watching. And I am a leadership and business coach for women entrepreneurs at every stage of their journey. I help women to launch, grow, and scale the businesses that their souls came here to create so that they can create world-changing impact and income and really shift their own life and as a result, create a ripple in the world. So my own entrepreneurial journey, I totally get it. Everything that you're saying in these comments right now, guys, I get it. I get it. I've been there. I've walked the path. I'm still walking the path. It is real. It is real. And sometimes the struggle feels real, but it doesn't have to. The struggle does not have to be real. It's something that we make up in our mind. It's something that we are conditioned to believe has to happen in order for us to be successful. And that is just not true. And that's an unfortunate fact because we have bought into it and it makes it hard to change that belief system for us. But it's also a really beautiful opportunity and a really great fact because we get to change it. We actually have so much more control over the things that we think we don't have control over and so much less control over the things that we want more control over, like our results and all these things that we actually, the things that are out of our control where we need to just let go and surrender. And then we have things like our belief system, the foundation for our entire life, the reality that we're seeing boomeranging back to us in every moment. That is totally up to us. And we just don't realize how powerful we are sometimes. We don't realize just how much influence we have over creating the life of our dreams, over bringing our dreams to life, over creating the vision for what we see as possible in our own lives and in the world, and for those that we serve also. So in the past 5 years of building this business, I have learned a ton about business, about doing business in a way that is soul-led, in a way that is feminine, in a way that actually honors and harmonizes both your masculine and feminine energies. And if you're feeling confused about what the heck I'm talking about when it's masculine and feminine energies, I want to paint this picture for you right now and just kind of clarify. So I like to think about the masculine and the feminine. These are, you can also replace these words with yin and yang, right? In a more yogic tantric tradition, they would be called yin and yang, but they're two energies that complement one another. And so the masculine is all about getting results, getting stuff done. It's like a driving, forcing, pushing energy. The feminine is, and it's very active. The feminine is more receptive. It's tuned in. It's collaborative. It's about community. It's about gathering. It's about feeling versus thinking. And so what we can see when we look at the total landscape of what business is like out there and what we perceive business to be, we can see a total bias leaning toward the more masculine stuff, right? It's about results. It's about structures and systems and processes and all these things. And what I've come to believe and what I've come to understand and know and embody in my own work and in my own business, and that I've helped, this is what I've helped hundreds of women do over the past 5 years as well, is to actually leverage some of that innate feminine wisdom that we have, the things that are unique to us as women, as human beings, that we're just a little bit more attuned to because we are in a like feminine system, right? In our brain, body, mind, hormones, all that stuff. We're cyclical beings. We do not have the same linear function every single day. We go through cycles and phases and rhythms that are completely unique to us as women and that follow things like the moon, that follow things like our menstrual cycle, which are actually kind of the same cycle. and that follow the seasons. And if we're trying to run and operate our business and bring our dreams to life from a place of pushing, forcing, hustling, striving, and continuing to try to do things in a very linear way, which is what we see out there in the world, we're going to feel frustrated. We're going to feel like we're not good enough. We're going to feel like we have to beat ourselves up and be super rigid and disciplined in order to get anything done. And I want to just share this with you because what I know to be true is, first of all, I want you to think about the last time that you ever got anyone to do anything that you wanted them to do by being an asshole, right? Like, when did you actually ever? I saw these people in a parking lot this weekend at the mall. I live super close to a big mall, King of Prussia. My boyfriend and I were there doing, like, we tried to get jeans for him, but whatever. The point is, we were in the parking lot. When we got there, we get out of our car, we walk in, we see these two people in cars, or maybe it's like 4 people, 2 people in each car, getting out of the car. First of all, they're in their car. They're yelling at each other, right? Trying to get what they want, presumably. I don't know what that was, but they're yelling at each other, calling each other names, being real nasty. And then at one point they get out of their cars and they're taunting each other, being mean. And then it's like, what is the actual result here, right? Like, who wins? Nobody. Nobody actually wins. Nobody's going to do what the other person wants. It then becomes like a game of chicken, like who's going to back down first. It's so crazy, right? And so we live in this world where we're conditioned to believe that in order to run a business, you have to be a bitch, basically, right? As a woman, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur as a woman, you have to be a bitch, and you have to be independent, and you have to do it all alone, and you have to do it in a way that it fits in with the guys so that you can play their game, so that you can keep up, so that you don't get taken advantage of, right? These are the things that we hear. Am I right? What's the thing? I want you to pop in the comments. What's the thing that you have been told about what it means to be a woman in business? What is the thing that you've been told that feels limiting about what it means to be a woman in business, or what it means to be a successful woman in life, right? What is it? What is the thing that you've heard that is complete BS, but let's get it out right now? Because here's the thing, you guys, we don't have to play that game. 1, it doesn't work for us. 2, it freaking burns us out. And guess what happens when you're burnt out? Your mission can't come through you because you're completely blocked and shut down as a channel for your purpose to come through. We can't do the work, right? Yeah, we have to be emotionally detached. You have to, like all these things, right, that we hear, like you can't be emotional, you can't be this, that, the other thing. And what I'm here to tell you today is actually those are your fucking superpowers, and it's time to own them and apply them to your business so that you can create the results that you deserve, so that you can create the results that you're here to create, so that you can be a stand for a different way, so that you can be a trailblazer to carve out a new pathway for women, for other women who are around you right now, but also the women who are coming after you. Because guess what? This has never happened before. It's never happened before that we could run businesses as women from home on our freaking laptops. This blows my mind when I really think about it. Like this past year, I took about 6 months, maybe 5 months, and just traveled and ran my business and made more money than I've ever made in my business, maintained consistent income, streamlined things in a really crazy way that I was working less than I ever had. I was traveling the world. I was seeing new things. I was doing something that I always wanted to do and never gave myself the freaking time to do because I believed that I couldn't, that I believed that things would fall apart if I even stepped away a little bit. And I traveled to Europe for 3 weeks, hardly worked, traveled to Bali for a couple weeks, hardly worked, was traveling across the country, seeing friends, seeing family, spending time, living my freaking life, and working, running a business that my soul came here to create, that is doing my soul's work, that is helping other women do their soul's work so that we can make the world a better place, which we have done, which is incredible, right? It's incredible that we have those opportunities in front of us right now. It is incredible, you guys. And I want you to get this because this is serious. Like, You can run a business that is your soul's purpose and make money from your laptop from anywhere in the whole world and reach people that you would never have been able to reach before. How exciting is that? And you can have time and financial freedom and location freedom if you need it or want it. You could have a family and stay home with your kids if you wanted to and run a successful business. That has never happened before. This is a complete opportunity amplifier for women today. So I want you to get this because it's so freaking important. You don't have to burn yourself out to be successful. You don't have to push through or be aggressive, or you shouldn't, you can make money doing something that you love. Spirituality, right? Like Helene said, you shouldn't make money on spirituality was one of the beliefs, right? That you have to push through, that you have to be aggressive, right? Yes. So yes. And I want you to see this because you're all saying the same things, right? We are all saying the same things. We are so much more alike than we are different. And I want to get this locked in for us right now. We are all struggling with the same things. We are all struggling with fear. We are all struggling with this mentality of what it means, this limited idea of what it means to be a woman in business, what it has to look like versus what we feel called for it to look like and feel like and be like. And we put these limits on ourselves, right? Sometimes society puts them on us, but we agree. We agree and we put it on ourselves. And we're the only ones determining the reality that we're creating. And we're the only ones determining the reality that we're seeing and perceiving based on the beliefs that we have and hold, right? So yes, absolutely. I remember when I made the decision to run my business, an old coworker of mine said, you have to be present every single day if you want to have a successful business. Okay, I'm going to agree with that a little bit because presence is, I believe you do have to be present. It doesn't mean you have to be in your business behind your laptop chained to your desk every day. Absolutely not. But I think you do need to be spiritually present. I think you do need to be showing up and creating space for your desires to come through, for your vision to come through, for you to do the work. But I don't think you need to be doing it in a way that burns yourself out, because that, my friends, is not actually sustainable. And what we need is businesses that are actually sustainable, that can grow and thrive regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what the market is doing, regardless of whether, it's 3 degrees outside, you can't get things done, regardless of where in the world you choose to live, regardless of so many things, right? We need businesses to be flexible, to be agile, to be lean, to be like bamboo, right? Like strong and also flexible at the same time. That's what I'm going for. That's what I want for myself. And it's what I want for my clients, because that's what they want. That's what they desire in their lives, because you don't need to be exhausted. In fact, if you are exhausted, there is no way you are doing your best work. And if you are procrastinating all the time, and if you are flying by the seat of your pants all the time, there's no way you are doing your best work. It's just not. There is not as much. When we infuse intention into our time, that's when we can stretch time. That's when we have more of it. That's when we prioritize things. That's when we have a plan. Did you know that 1 hour of planning saves you 10 hours of doing? That fact blew my freaking mind, but I also knew that it is true because I am a total planner. I love it. And I've also had to learn throughout the years that when we actually leave space for our soul in our plan and actually touch base with that first, and then reverse engineer a plan and a strategy that actually fits us and is in alignment with our soul in the way that feels good for us to do things and to take action and is kind to ourselves, we don't have to be so mean to ourselves to get things done, right? We don't have to be cruel to ourselves and rigid and harsh to get things done. Because like I said before, when's the last time that worked to get someone to do something that you wanted them to do? Never. It doesn't freaking work. There's no outcome in which that actually benefits anybody. It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit them. It doesn't benefit the whole, because they're not going to do the thing. It just creates resistance and drama and anger and frustration and, well, yuck, right? Not anything that we actually want. And so there is a way to lead your business that is, 1, soul first, and 2, kind. kind to yourself, that is actually loving and nurturing and nourishing for you, and doesn't have you burn out, doesn't have you feel frustrated with yourself all the time and feel like you have to hide, or that you're not good enough, or that things aren't working all the time. Okay. So yes, someone also shared with me, start with the experience you want for yourself and for your people, then reverse engineer. I think that's definitely a great way of holding space for the soul first. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is what I teach people. This is the work that we do here. It's what actually do you want? What is the vision for what you are creating? What does your soul want to share with you? Are you listening deeply? Are you trusting it? And are you actually pursuing it? Because those three things together will lead to abundance, impact, success, fulfillment, all of that, right? And it's very simple, 3 steps, right? Listening to your soul, trusting what it says and asks you to do and calls you to do, and then actually taking action to follow and pursue that, and stay the course. Stay the course. This is a message that kept coming through for me last week when I was feeling like, why the heck isn't this thing happening yet? It was like, stay the course. Stay the course. It is happening. You just can't see it yet, right? Your soul doesn't lie to you. You just don't have the whole picture all the time, right? Sometimes it has to get you to do the thing that's hard and scary. And then you have to wait a little bit. And there is uncertainty and there is unknown, but it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It doesn't mean you did it wrong. It doesn't mean that your soul lied, right? It's just, we can't even imagine how many things with our human mind are happening and conspiring for us and with us in the universe around us. All these things, it's all energy, you guys. Your intention sets it into motion. Your vision sets it into motion. Your actions set it into motion. You're basically showing up and saying like, I'm ready, I'm here, I'm willing, bring it. I'm ready. I'm here to do this, right? And so one of the things that and let me back up. To me, that's what leadership is really all about. It's about finally claiming your full power and potential so that you can rise into the CEO of your life and your business, because no one else is going to call the shots for you to make your dreams come true or to create the life or the world you want to live in. No one is coming into your bedroom every morning and giving you like this pep talk and saying like, you're amazing, you deserve all the success. And even if they freaking did, you guys, you wouldn't believe them if you didn't have the match for it in here, in your mind, in your whole system. If you didn't have a belief system that supported hearing that information, you would just not believe it. It wouldn't resonate as truth. So it wouldn't matter. It can't come from outside of you. It has to come from within you. These shifts are, we think about success as the mechanics, right? We think of success as like, do the steps perfectly and right, and you will create success. And there's a little bit of that that's true, because we do need the action and we do need the strategy, and that can be smart to not reinvent the wheel, of course. But it's not the whole equation. It's probably 10%. The rest, 90%, and the core of why you're not getting what you want, why you're not getting the results that you're envisioning, why you're not already living the life and leading the business that your soul came here to create, is because of this right here, right? It's because of your mindset. It's because of the belief system that you're holding that's driving the whole train of your life and deciding where to stop and where to get off and where to do this and that. And it can be really overwhelming to exist from that place, right? Where we're unclear and where we feel like we're not sure what path we're supposed to be on or what we're supposed to be doing or if this is right. And we can doubt ourselves and we can be scared and we can feel like we're not good enough. And so, quick reminder that you are. You can't be living anyone else's life, right? You're only living your own life. You're walking your own path. There is no wrong way to do it, but there is potentially a way that is more aligned with why your soul came here, which can be a lot easier and a lot less struggle for you to live and lead this life and this business that you're here to create. So let's talk about how to do that. So again, today's training is all about how to launch, grow, and scale your soul-led business. And depending on which phase of your business journey you're at right now, I'm going to speak to that directly as best I can today, but let's kind of get a feel. So I want you to pop in the comments, what stage of your business are you at currently? One is launching, where you are sort of like in a business idea phase, but you also, you maybe are making a bit of money. It might be a side hustle. That's launching, right? You have an idea or you're just starting out. Okay, so tell me if you're launching in the comments. If you are growing, that would be like you are in your business. Maybe it's still part-time. Maybe it's full-time. You're making some good money. You're maybe at like consistent 6K months, or you are somewhere between 0 and 6K, but you are like fully committed all in your business. And you know, that's where you are. You're growing it and you're doing it right now. You have a website, you have you know, things in place. You are an actual business who has clients, at least a couple. Okay. Great. Growing, launching. Okay. And if you're scaling, you're at the point where you are at maybe around 6 figures a year, maybe a little less, maybe a little more in that range. And you want to create more income, more impact. You are ready to scale and expand your business. You maybe are looking at multiple locations. You maybe are looking at what else you can add to your portfolio of services and products and all that stuff. Maybe you are a coach or a consultant, or you have some kind of service-based business, in which case you might be looking at expanding your reach and your programs. So tell me where you are. Pre-launching, growing, 3 companies. Okay, great, Nicole. Okay, growing, before launching, great. Scaling, fabulous, yes. Okay, anyone else scaling? Just so I can speak to that as well. Pre-launching, great. Okay, so a lot of you are in the business idea phase, which is great. It's a fun place to be, but guess what? I'm gonna take you from, yes, I love being able to claim this. This is actually really an amazing feeling to say this out loud. Absolutely. Yes, Jacqueline. Okay, so knowing where you are is sometimes the most important step to moving forward, because then you know, you have at least an idea of what you need. So if you are in the place where you are launching, that means you are, or even pre-launching, you're in an ideation phase and you're probably feeling overwhelmed by all the ideas. You're probably feeling stuck because you are so overwhelmed and you don't even know where to take action first. You're probably feeling like, how do I decide what to do? How do I package myself? How do I brand this thing? How do I, what is my mission? What is my purpose really? How do I make the business? How do I like conceptualize the business that actually fits for me? Right? Give me some like hearts if you're feeling that, if that's hitting the nail on the head for you. Okay. Is it weird to be in both pre-launch and scaling? Yeah, so pre-launch would be like, unless you have 2 businesses. So pre-launch would be like you're in an ideation phase. Pre-launch, you don't really have the thing yet, or maybe you have it, but it's not out to market. You don't have like your pages up, or you don't have, you know, it's not visible yet. And then scaling would be if you're around 6 figures and wanting to move up, that would be scaling, just for these purposes, just so we know where you are. Okay, so great. All right, let's move into, there were a couple things that were big themes. And when I read over your 4 responses about what you wanted to learn in this training, I found many of you talking about wanting support in 5 major areas. One was more time. One was more money, and specifically sustainable and consistent money. The third was more trust and confidence in yourself and your journey. The fourth was more focused and streamlined action. And the fifth was more clarity on ideal clients, your vision, and what you actually want and how to get it. So I want you to take a moment, go ahead and grab a journal and pen if you don't already have one. If you want to bring this with you wherever you're watching it and grab a warm cup of something so that you can feel super comfy and cozy with us, do that now. And I have a poem actually that I want to read to you that really felt like, one, it was floating around out there right now because Mary Oliver, the poet, just passed, I think this past week. And also because it's just an amazing poem and it really speaks to, I think, what I want to share with you today. So wherever you are, just take a moment and close your eyes. Feel your breath. We're going to connect a little bit deeper right now as we go into some more strategic stuff because I know how easy it is to get spun out and get stuck on the structures and feeling like you have to do everything perfectly in order to start. And that's just not the case. Okay. So I want you to drop that for a moment and just focus on your breath and focus on these words, this poem. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clean blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Let's take that in for a second. And just let that settle. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You do not have to suffer. You do not have to earn your place in the family of things. You already are. You already have a purpose. You already have a calling. Your body already knows what to do. Your heart already knows how to guide you. Your soul already knows where to lead you. Okay? So just a quick reminder, because I know sometimes we can go into, when we hear strategic stuff, we can go into, okay, I have to do all of this perfectly. I have to do it as fast as possible. And if I don't do exactly what she says, I'm not doing it right. And then I'm wrong. And no. Okay. No, absolutely not. That's not how I roll. You do what is right for you. You take what you need and you leave the rest. You do not have to listen to anybody else about what the right way is to lead your business or to lead your soul's calling. That is not what this is about. You are here to do it your way. You are here to follow your soul's calling. You are here to do your soul's work. You are here to build your soul's business. And that can only happen when you do it in a way that is in alignment with you and what your soul is calling you to do. So above all, I want you to trust your soul in this, okay? Your inner callings. And I think this can be a little hard for a lot of us because we're not taught this, right? We're not taught, yes, you need to get in touch with your soul as a child, right? Like that's not what we're taught. Actually, we're taught that our mind is king and that we need to just do the smart thing and the right thing and the perfect thing and the most well thought out plan and all of that, right? We're told and taught and conditioned that we have to trust our mind over our feelings, that we need to shut our feelings down. And that's not true, okay? It's just not. Actually, our feelings and our emotions and our deep inner wisdom it already exists, and it is such a powerful tool in our businesses and in our lives when we're thinking about doing revolutionary things, when we're thinking about living our soul's work. How else are we going to do it? It's not been done before, right? Like, you have not walked this path in this lifetime as you with these circumstances. That's the whole fun of it, right? Like, that's why our souls are so excited to be here, because they get to do it. They get to do this thing as a human being in human form, and it's like new and exciting, right? So that's not where innovation comes from, to follow someone else's path, to follow someone else's pre-prescribed, perfectly thought out structure of email funnels and all this stuff. Okay. So I want to give you full liberation and free range right now to take what I'm saying, take what you need, but also, like, if you find a way to do it better, great. If you find a way better, meaning more in alignment with your soul, more in alignment with your true calling, more in alignment with the way that you feel called to do this thing. Okay. So let's start with clarity. And specifically, the question you guys asked was more clarity on ideal clients and a vision and what you actually want and how to get it. So I want you to pop in the comments right now. What do you most want in this year? What do you most want over the next 12 months in 2019? What do you most want? One thing. What is the thing you most want? Okay, pop that in the comments for me. And as you do that, I want you to think about, why do you want that thing? What do you think it's going to get you? How do you think you're going to feel? What is it about that thing that has you feel called to it? Okay, so what do you want most in the next year? Over the course of 2019, what do you want most? My dog is making the funniest noises. Okay. I'm not seeing these comments come in, so I'm wondering if you guys are feeling stuck on what you actually want, or if my computer is just being not right now. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Other women to feel the sisterhood. Yeah. To be self-employed, living in the country, own accountability, and just peacefulness. Beautiful. To live a life of joyful abundance with ease. Yes. Okay. Olivia's thinking. Let's feel and not think, right? Sarah, flow, joy, empowered, gorgeous. Yeah. What is the thing, though? Like, what's the actual thing that you feel called to do in your business, in your life? What do you want to create? What's the creation piece? Like, what's the thing that you actually tangibly want to create? Yeah. Sustainability while doing my soul's work, financial stability, being able to put money aside for savings, retirement, a down payment on a house, perhaps hire an assistant. Yes. To be of service to the people I'm serving and be financially and location free. Yes. Inner peace and more success. Hi, Mom. I love when that happens. Hi, Mom. My mom's an entrepreneur too. She's awesome. And she helped me rearrange my living room this weekend when I was having a breakdown because I took my tree out of the space because my dog was eating it, and then I was left with furniture that I felt like didn't fit together, and now it looks great. I'll post a picture later. Okay, great. So what is the thing tangibly that you feel called to do this year that you want most of all? You guys are great with like feeling what you want to feel, but let's get specific and honed in on what you actually want. What do you want to create? What do you want to bring to life? What do you want to give to the world in a tangible form in your business? What is the thing you want to create? Coaching program for parents of children with special needs. Oh, yes. Beautiful. So needed. Yes. I have a lot of them. Yes. Okay. What's the one you want most, Jacqueline? Share that one with us. To audition and be cast in a role of a lifetime over and over again and write material that makes everyone feel heard and understood. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful. Feeling called to create a really badass co-working space. Yes. Ooh, I love that, sister. Yes. Oh, I feel that for you, like in a big, beautiful way. So awesome. Okay. Yoga classes, yoga retreats. Great. Yes, yes, yes. This is so good. Okay, keep them coming. So I want you to think about now and feel into who would you be, what would you do, and what would be different when you have this thing or when you have created this thing. What for you can shift when you have already created this thing, when you've brought it to life? Okay, great. Okay, great. Yep, make X amount of money and find a volunteer group I feel passionate about and I'm able to be routinely involved with. Great. More reclaimed goods so that less is wasted. Yes, great. Yeah, amazing. Yes, yes, making things. I love that. There's two big ones. One, collaborate with other business owners to incorporate genealogy into something, and two, multi-generational membership mastermind. Gorgeous, yes. Being of service to women, helping women break the patterns that are keeping them stuck in toxic relationships through holistic self-love practices. Fulfill this through online programs, group, and one-on-one coaching. Yes, when I brought this co-working space to life, I can cultivate in-person community and support people in their dreams, which is beautiful, Camilla, because you also can do, I know you teach Embody and you have like beautiful work that you can do in person, which would be so beautiful. Yes, Allison. Yes, who would you be? Who will you be when you have that thing, or what would be possible for you? Who will you become? Be uncorked, joyful, and give back to my family, streamline systems, and better trainings for employees to create. Sorry, my little icons are getting in the way. More space for me to create more growth. Absolutely. Yes, Carly. Yes, yes. I will be giving the gift of yoga to the community, helping people live in vibrant health and have sustainable tools. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, great. So we know we're clear on what you want the most, why you want that thing, and then who you would be, what you would do, and what would be different when you actually have it. So for you personally in your life, what would be different when you actually do this thing? When you do the big scary thing that you're being called to that actually feels uncomfortable and like a stretch and like, how the F do I do that? What would be different? Also, I want you to think about, answer this question, okay? Yes, I will be confident, empowered, and easeful. Yes, okay. So actually, I want you to answer this question. I changed my mind. What's the thing you've been avoiding doing over the past year or the past years, plural? What's the thing that you've actually been avoiding in the past year or years of your life that keeps knocking? Maybe it's like, I want to write a book, or I want to start a podcast, or I want to have a co-working space, or I want to start a business, or I want to leave my full-time job, or I want to do X, Y, and Z. Share that with us in the comments. Allison says, I will be able to empower and support families to create deeper connections, which will allow me to also spend more time with my own family from any location. Yes, I will be courageous. Oh, I love that one. That was like powerful, sister. I love that. Avoiding doing more things in person. Yeah, great, Jacqueline. What's the thing you've been avoiding the last year or years that you're feeling called to, but it feels big or scary or uncomfortable, or like you don't have the tools or the resources, or you don't even know where to begin? What's that thing for you? Pop that in the comments. Website, photos, writing, leave job, move. Okay, Nicole, great. Yes, okay. Yes, okay, so see, we all have things that we are avoiding because we're making up a story about why we can't do it, right? Like, I don't know enough, or I'm not there yet, or it's for someone else and not for me, or I can't do it right, or I just don't even know where to begin, or is this really for me? I don't know, I'm doubting myself, right? Avoiding making the actual website and putting my price structure out there to get my first clients. Yes, Allison, big one. We need to talk about that, sister. We need to get that out there into the world. This is a big offering that's beautiful for people that need it. They need to know about you. Visibility, also, I'll say, is a big one that I work with my clients around, because it comes up for all of us when we're afraid of being seen, because one, we have this thing in us as women in our lineages that it's not safe to be seen. It's not safe to be who we are. It's not safe to be in our brilliance, because guess what's happened to people who have stepped out and questioned the status quo before, challenged it, right? It feels unsafe to us, even if we know mentally, and even if there isn't even any evidence in this lifetime that that is the case, it is wired into our DNA. It is in our epigenetic code that turns on when we start to do something scary. Isn't that fascinating? I find that so cool. And also, like, so awesome to be aware of, because then it doesn't have control over you anymore. Creating a writing focused business. Yes, I would like to be more, these little icons are getting in my way, confident about approaching people to promote my business. Yes, absolutely, Kristen. Erica, I wanted to do women empowerment monthly meetups. Yes, do it. Yes. Okay. Being seen. Yes. Website and meditation podcast. Yes. Okay. We got to get these things out into the world, you guys. Do you see how amazing all of these ideas are that you're seeing in the comments right now? And you're like, please create that. Yes, we need it. We need you. The world needs you. The world needs you to do your freaking work, okay? And you need to do your work, because if you don't, your soul is literally dying every day and it doesn't feel good. And you can't possibly be living your best life or be as fulfilled as you possibly can if you're not doing your work. Because you are charged with a certain responsibility to do your work. And like I said before, if you don't do it, it's going to get really loud and uncomfortable and mean, right? So you might as well do it before it gets really bad and it keeps knocking and it's louder, and it's going to make you take even scarier risks later down the line. That's why I started my business so young, by the way, because I knew at 22, if I knew what I wanted to do and I ignored it, number one, I would feel unfulfilled, and I would know that for a long time. And I would only be getting more like my circumstances would only become more challenging to step away from a steady income if I didn't start creating that for myself right now, right at that time, 5 years ago, December of 2014, whatever. So yes, avoiding committing to investing completely into my vision. Yes. Yes. Okay. Delegating tasks to others, networking with other small business owners. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Oh, Jacqueline, you're totally an expert on this. Yes. I'd like to overcome my insecurity and feel more bold about asking people to place or promote my products. Yes. I'd love someone to begin a virtual guided meditation group. Yes. Me too. I'm avoiding my own things because I get stuck on my writing skills and money. Yes. We all do. We all have something that we feel like we're not an expert in, and then that makes us feel like we can't share it. But guess what? People are attracted not to the perfection of what you do. It's more about the energy behind it, and they can feel that, right? We know that they can feel that. I know, like, it doesn't actually have anything to do with your qualifications most of the time. Most of the time it doesn't. That's why you can have 6 master's degrees and still be unsuccessful and not have a job. I have someone in my family like that, actually. It's very frustrating. You can have all the education and tools in the world, and if you don't have the inner game to put it out and do it and bring it to life, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. And also, if you bring something to life and it has the energy and enthusiasm and soul magic dust in it because it is from your soul and it is your soul's work, that is potent shit. And people feel that. People feel that and they know it, and it is freaking magnetic. And they are coming to you for that. Yes, money. Yes. We're going to talk about money. Okay, great. So we now know, I feel like all of you are a little bit more clear than maybe you were on the call, just a little bit more focused and clear and streamlined around what it is you actually want, what it is that you've been avoiding that actually you're feeling called to, and what the thing is, like why you actually want that thing and what will happen when you have it. What are you perceiving will actually be the case when you create that thing or when you put it out? Okay, so now the how to get it piece. The how to get it piece is actually a lot simpler than we often think. We often think we need to have the perfect strategy, the perfect funnels, the perfect network, whatever the perfect thing is that we are telling ourselves we have to have in order to make that happen, or the perfect format for an event, or we need to have a loan of $250,000 to start our co-working space, or whatever. So how to get it is actually to align your belief system with the reality you want to see, and then create the strategy that actually feels fun and keeps you in an enlivened state, so that also matches the energy of what you want to call in and your vision. So I'm going to say that again. The how to get it is actually not to have the perfect structure and system in place right away. It's actually to start inside and align your belief system with the reality that you want to see, with your vision. And then create the strategy, reverse engineer the strategy that actually feels fun and keeps you in an enlivened state. That's a very important piece, that keeps you in an enlivened state because it actually feels fun and like something you want to do versus something that you have to do or should do, or have to feel like you have to fit yourself into this freaking little box and operate like this without any kind of mobility or freedom to be who you really are, or to do the work that you're actually here to do because you feel limited by this box that you've put yourself in. And that state that the action actually puts you in, that doing the thing, the doing the work actually puts you in, needs to match the energy of what you want to call in and your vision. In other words, you can't be attracting the like 7-figure income that you might want if your belief system and your energy is that of scarcity, right? You can't. It is impossible to do that. You will not do it. And even if you did, you will self-sabotage, and you will create a chaotic mess out of it, when even if it does arrive, even if the opportunities arrive, because you won't trust it, you won't see it. You literally will not see it because you will only see what you believe. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a challenge. And then you're going to think, why can't I have what I want? And it's because you're not doing the inner work to actually match what it is that you want. You have to be a magnet for it. And that means you have to align your energy and your belief system to be a magnet for that which you actually want, okay? So it's actually a lot simpler and actually a different pathway entirely than what most people believe about what it takes to be successful. Because like I said before, a lot of people think it's the mechanics, it's the steps, it's the way that we do the steps, right? The right steps, and then I will be successful. If I do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, that equals success. And that's not true. One, that success is empty and unfulfilling. And two, that's not a guarantee. Because if people don't feel you in your work, they're not going to want to work with you, because it feels like they could then work with a robot, right? You see the difference when you call a company because you have a complaint, or when you have comments, or when you need support, and it's like a robot, and it's so frustrating because you're like, no, I want to talk to a human. That's how it feels when you hide behind the perfect structure and strategy in your business. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to people's websites, and they, like, I can't find a picture of them anywhere. And I'm like, who is this? Are they a real person? Is this a bot? Is this a scam? I don't know. And I don't want you to be in a position where someone comes to your website for your business and they're questioning whether you're even a real human because you're too afraid to be visible and own your work. Okay? That is really frustrating, because guess what? You're leaving money on the table. You're not able to serve the people you're here to serve. And why? Because you're afraid. And that's something you actually have control over. You can change that. And I can help you do that if you want more support. So, okay. So that's that, the how-to. Now we have more time, right? The thing about time is we don't find time, because we all have 24 hours in a day, and we all have things that we do. We all have things we're responsible for. I know time can sometimes feel hard, because for me, sometimes I'm like, how am I going to do my morning meditation, journal, take the dog out, eat breakfast, feed myself, go to the gym, go to yoga, or do whatever, and then get in my seat and start doing my work at 10. How the hell is that going to happen, right? It feels sometimes like too big. Or even when I'm thinking about like, okay, I want to bring this thing to life. I want to launch something. How am I going to do that? It feels so big. And when am I going to find the time to do that? Right. And it's not that we don't find time. We create time. We make time for the things that we value. We prioritize the things we care about most, or we get distracted and we get off course and we follow these little tangents and then nothing happens and we don't create real results because we're too busy getting distracted by things that aren't actually our purpose, that aren't actually our soul's calling. And so more time, here's how you have more time. 1, know exactly what you actually are here to do and do it every single day without fail in some way, shape, or form, and stay devoted. Devotion is very different from discipline. Discipline is showing up and doing the same thing consistently, exactly the same way, and doing it because you said you would or because you have to. Devotion, on the other hand, is showing up from a place of love and acting from that place. So I want you to embrace that today, because that's going to be a total game changer for you when it comes to time. I like to tell all my clients, you need to block off free space in your calendar for at minimum 2 hours to 3 hours a week, any day of the week, I don't care. You need to block off that time and just show up to it and ask yourself the question, what do I actually feel called to do right now? What do I actually feel called to do right now? What would feel fun? What would feel enlivening? We need that space to do that work. We need that space. And that is part of doing our soul's work. Because otherwise we're just going through the freaking motions all the time. And that is not magnetic. That is not what people want to see from us. It's not what they want to hear from us, right? It's not what we want to be spewing out into the world either. So don't do that. You need time scheduled out to actually just show up and ask what feels inspiring, what feels enlivening, what would be fun right now for me to do, and then to do that. And you need to think about first, like, what are the distractions that are actually happening for you? What are the things on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that drain your time and energy and that don't actually help you get to where you want to be? And if we're now focusing on this one thing that you want more than anything else, then all of your beliefs and all of your actions and all of the way that you spend your time should align to support that. Right? Yes. Okay, great. So we don't get to have more time, but we can actually stretch time when we are more present, right? Sounds funny that we need to be more and do less in order to create more time, which sounds super counterintuitive when we're talking about productivity, right? So did you know, I said this before, 1 hour of planning is 10 hours of doing, saving you time. So spend your time intentionally. Don't just go show up with no plan to your laptop and get lost in a rabbit hole of YouTube videos and Facebook scrolling and Instagram scrolling and get this dopamine hit when somebody likes your stuff thinking you did something, okay? You didn't do anything. You didn't create income. You didn't create clients. That's still a hobby. It's not a business, okay? So we have to take it seriously enough to actually treat it like a business. Okay? And that doesn't mean you have to be super serious, and it doesn't mean you have to be rigid, and it doesn't mean you have to be masculine about it. It doesn't mean you can't have emotions and all that stuff. But if you're not taking yourself seriously, no one else is going to, right? If you're not respecting your own time, no one else is going to respect your time either. So how often do you find yourself flying by the seat of your pants because you think that by doing more, you'll somehow create the result you want? Or because you want to try to control everything, or because you're afraid of what will come up if you actually stopped doing and just sat with yourself and got real with your heart and mind and what's happening inside of you? What if, this was for me. What kept me doing all the time was that I was so afraid of what would come up or come through me if I slowed down and stopped doing all the things and just learned to be. I didn't even know what that actually meant at the time when I first heard it about 5 years ago during my coach training. And I remember it feeling so foreign to me that I could be more productive by doing less. Like that I was like, what? What do you mean? I think that's lazy, right? It took so long for that to sink in for me. So if that's you right now, I feel you, sister. Raise your hand with an emoji comment or something in the comment section here, and let me know if that's you. Because yes, Nicole, I've been working on unsubscribing to all the things and people that don't add value. I don't intend that rudely, but those that suck energy and don't appreciate your energies. Absolutely. I remember my yoga instructor saying, be more and do less, tapping into that feminine energy. Yeah. Yeah. And it's also hard to really fit that into your system when what you believe and what you've been told and what you've been living is not that, right? Is the opposite of that, is that I have to do more. The only way to be successful is to do more and to hustle and to do it all and to do it all perfectly all the time and to hold up all the plates and balance them all. And guess what? That is not an approach that's going to lead to success. It's going to lead to burnout and quick. Okay. So we can't be doing that anymore. We need a new belief system in place. We need to remember that actually what is powerful and what is effective and what is efficient and what saves time is slowing down. And by doing that, you will speed up because you'll be more intentional. It's like if you slowed things down. Imagine that like something was falling off of a shelf and you had the ability to slow down time and position yourself perfectly to catch it. That would look a lot different than if you just didn't even notice and it happened so quickly and it fell to the ground and you were like, shit, now I have a mess to clean up, right? So that's what I want you to think about doing with your time, even if that sounds funny. It's like when we slow it down, we can actually respond to what our soul wants and what life is asking us and inviting us to in a way that is so much more efficient and powerful and beautiful and fulfilling than if we were just speeding through life, going through the motions, not even stopping to see what we might be being called to. Because then we end up in a place of resistance. Then we end up in a place of fear and frustration and all of these things that keep us from doing our work. We create more barriers for ourselves by moving so fast all the time, by doing all the things. We're creating all this clutter in our energetic system, in our mental mind, and everything. So what we need is space. We need space to slow down. We need space carved out to actually go inward, to actually get intentional, to actually tune in, to actually be reflected to actually have the space to show up to consistently every single week, every single day, whatever, different types of space for different things. But we need accountability around that. We need accountability around carving out that space to be intentional, to slow down, to remember all of these things that I'm sharing with you today, because I'm going to tell you, you can hop off this call and continue doing everything the same way and nothing changes. Because guess what? We need repetition to create a new pattern and a new habit. We need repetition. We need consistency. And that's how real sustainable change actually happens, you guys. Doesn't happen from going to a ton of free webinars and then doing nothing differently. Doesn't happen from reading a cool book or taking an e-course here and there and spending all your money and time and energy doing those things, and it doesn't change anything. Because guess what? You don't have somebody right there. That's why I believe in coaching so much. That's why I do this work, because having someone there on your team showing up with you consistently and having a tribe of people, that's why I believe in sisterhood, makes that growth accelerate so quickly, because we get reinforced in every direction, up, down, side to side, everywhere. We're getting reinforced in this new belief system that's going to actually support us in being successful and being a match for what we want, instead of pushing it away, self-sabotaging, repelling it, coming up against resistance, feeling stuck, hiding, doing this. It's this dance, you guys. You know that you do it. I know that I do it, but now I'm aware of it, and I have the support to be able to lean into and say, like, hey, this is happening for me. Can someone support me with this? Can you pull me out? Can you show me a different way? Can you reflect this to me? Right? That's why sisterhood is so freaking powerful. And if you know me and you know my work and you've been to one of my circles or you've worked with me before, you know that. And if you haven't, then you might not realize just how powerful that is, and you might not know how much you need it because you've never felt it before. And I can tell you that it's so different. Yes. My friend started Team Positive Posts for that reason. Yes. I keep stepping away to resource and reconnect, but my brain is a swirl, so can't seem to get grounded to tap in. Absolutely. Yes, Sarah. Thank you for sharing that. That is so true. That's probably everybody. It's the way that our world works, right? To think that we could possibly not be that way by default in this crazy world where we have technology waves flying all around all the time. We're all on our phones. We have a million distractions. We have people that we're responsible for and to. We have businesses to run. We have work to do. Some of us have maybe kids or pets or family members to take care of. We have a house. We have all these things, right? It can feel freaking heavy. And it doesn't need to, because we don't need to carry that burden alone. You can actually receive support. And that is one of the other things with time, is that you can maximize your time by not making avoidable mistakes and missteps that are going to take you off course, by continuing to show up to a space where you can be supported, where you can receive, where you can realign and reconnect. But that's not going to happen by default, you guys. It's not going to happen that one day you're like, oh, I think it would be great today to start a new practice where every single day I show up, and then it just happens. No, that's not how it works. We have to build the muscle, right? You're not going to go to the gym after not going for 20 years and work out every single day the same muscle group and build strength. You're going to hurt yourself, number one. You won't be able to be consistent because you'll be so sore you can't move. That's not how change happens, right? And we kind of know that. Yes. I'm still in a process of transition from masculine to feminine. The slowing down process is taking longer than I thought. Of course, Kelly, right? How ironic, but also like, of course. Amy, totally. Repetition is so key. Absolutely, sister. When I went to your sister circle this past December, has helped me tremendously and helped me to get clarity in what I will create. Yes, Erica, it was so good to have you. I'm so glad you're nearby. Okay, so that's time. When we get more intentional with our time and build in rituals and nourishing self-care to our days, you will literally be shocked at how much more efficient you can be, okay? Also, we need to stop engaging with the distractions and build in new habits that actually support us in receiving more of what we want, okay? And that sometimes means if what you want is a business, you need some support around that. It's not going to happen just because you want it to. It's going to happen because you actually show up and do the work and put in the time and put in the energy. And that doesn't mean you have to put in 10,000 hours a week. It means that you have to show up and be intentional about it and know what you're doing and have focus and clarity and the confidence to do the things that you actually want to do that are most important to you and that your soul is asking you to do. Okay. Let's move on to focused and streamlined action, because this was a big one that I heard from you guys too. So what we need to do in order to create focused and streamlined action, this is sort of a good transition too from the last thing we were talking about with time, right? We need to build a relationship with your intuition to be your guide and building the strategy that matches and aligns with your soul, instead of starting with the strategy and then having it feel empty or unfulfilling, like you're a slave to your business or work. I know that you aren't here because you want to create a feeling of boxed in and the opposite of freedom. You want freedom. You want freaking freedom. If you are called to a masterclass about a soul-led business, you want freedom. You want freedom to be who you are, to say what you want to say, to do your soul's work, to make the kind of money you want to make, to have the time and financial freedom that you want, you want freedom overall. That's what we all want. And I think every human truly wants freedom, right? We want freedom from anything that binds us or holds us back. And that's what tapping into our soul's wisdom can do for us. And also, that's what having more focused and streamlined action can do for us, because we can't possibly show up as a human mind who has, thousands and thousands of thoughts each day. And suddenly, like when we sit down at our computer, all of that goes away. We have to train our minds to do that. We have to train our minds to focus, to streamline, to do all these things. It's not an overnight deal, okay? So, Another way that we can do this and create more focused and streamlined action is actually to honor the cycles and rhythms that are happening within you and outside of you at every phase of the creative process. And so for us as women with feminine bodies and hormone cycles and things, we can leverage that menstrual cycle as a way to be more productive. And if you haven't yet tapped into that wisdom for yourself, let me know. I can send you my free guide to track all of that. It's sort of like a map of phases of your menstrual cycle aligning with the seasons and the moon. So you can do that and kind of apply that, juxtapose that onto your schedule and create a massive shift and big differences. And that's something that I start with all my clients around, because we need to do that if we're going to be productive. If we're going to be our most productive, if we're not going to waste time, if we're not going to create more resistance for ourselves, we have to be willing to do it differently. And we have to be willing to embrace and embody these cycles and rhythms that are happening, because they're happening regardless. We can either resist them or we can allow them and surrender to them and work with them and leverage them for our own benefit. And especially in business, this is a great tool because you are not at the mercy of someone else's schedule anymore, right? And even if you are working full-time right now and you're transitioning to a business, you're still able to do that on your own time and plan your month and what you do and your actions around what you are actually mentally, physically primed to be doing at that time of the month, so that you don't bump up against any unnecessary, avoidable resistance or just feeling like, why can't I do this thing that I said I was going to do? It's just not flowing. Well, yeah, because it's not what you're primed to be doing right now. And sometimes it's that simple. And that shift alone can make a world of difference for you in the way that you lead your business and your life, is actually planning around that. So let's also take a look, as I said before, this kind of weaves back in around action. Sometimes we have a tendency to beat ourselves up and treat ourselves like shit around not taking the action, instead of getting curious about, why is this not feeling easy for me right now? Why is this not feeling in flow? Is it one, because it is just literally not what I want to do and I want to do something else right now and it's not where my creative energy is and actually I'm feeling called to something else? That's one thing. Or is it because of my own internal resistance? Is it because of fear or is it because I'm afraid of being seen or afraid of being heard or afraid that I'm not safe to do this? Or is it because I am exhausted and actually what I need is nourishment and sleep and not to do this thing right now? Okay. We have to be willing to almost like mother ourselves, self-nurture, and give ourselves what we need to be successful along the way, because no one else is going to do that for you. And you don't want to get into patterns, especially early on, that are not supportive of sustainable success. And that's where I think a lot of times people go wrong with action, right? Like massive action is a beautiful thing. Massive aligned action is the thing that changes your life and the world. Okay? So massive action is great, but massive aligned action is actually where we get into a state of flow and things start to feel easy and they feel more downstream and we don't have to struggle so much and we don't have to beat ourselves up. Okay? So I want you to try this on today. And know that through love and attention, you can make things happen in your business so much faster and with much less stress and less overwhelm and less hustling when you can try softer instead of try harder. Okay? You always have the choice to try softer, to try being softer and more loving and nurturing with yourself than harder or harsher with yourself. Okay? So this kind of goes back to our conversation about devotion and discipline. Right? You don't need to beat yourself into submission to build the business that your soul is here to create. That doesn't even make sense, right? Like, how could it be that you'd have to beat yourself up and be awful to yourself to do the work of love in the world, to do your work that is love, that is an extension of your heart and soul in the world? How could that be? It doesn't even make sense, right? So no shaming yourself. Get rid of it. Get rid of the self-shame and this beating yourself up and telling yourself that you're not good enough and telling yourself that somebody else is already doing it or they're doing it better. All this BS that's happening for you right now in your mind, it is so not necessary. Okay? Let it go. And it's easier said than done, again, which is why we need those supportive systems in our lives to show up to be accountable, to change things, to do the deep inner work, to rewire our inner operating system to shift and to have that be a different reality. Okay. Let's move on to money, more sustainable and consistent money. Okay. First of all, let's clear this piece up first. Do you not always find the money to do something that is very, 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 very important and necessary for you? You do, right? When your tires need to be changed because they are bald and it is snowing and it is a danger, you will find the money somewhere, somehow, to do it, right? You will, absolutely, 100%. You will find it. You will create it. You will find it. You will always find a way to pay your mortgage or rent. You will get creative if need be. You will sell things on Poshmark, or you will, ask a friend or your spouse, or you will ask for support, or you will put it on your credit card and figure it out next month, right? Like, you will figure out a way. You will make it happen. And I know that because if you're here, you're a resourceful, smart, creative woman who is here to do big work in the world and who can figure this shit out. This is not like, money is so not the thing that I'm going to let hold you back, because money has nothing to, like, when you focus on service and your mission and making an impact in the world, money is a magnet for that. Money follows that. Money will always find you. Money will always show up and support you because it is a tool and a resource to do more of your good work in the world. Okay? So let's talk about actually creating sustainable income. So consistent action and energetic clearing practices, I think, are number one. You need to actually be clear around how much money do you want to make? Where is that coming from? What are the streams of revenue? What are the offerings on the table? Do they actually feel aligned? If so, awesome. You'll probably have an easier time making money. And yes, what that money will actually allow you to do. So what will the money that you receive consistently receive you to do or create in the world and in your life? I think that we also need those structures in our business to allow people to find us. So marketing is a part of that, of course, because we have to be visible and show up. We also need the willingness to be visible and keep showing up. We need the clarity and the steel-like faith in ourselves to share what we're up to in the world. And we need a focus on service and impact so that the money can follow and flow to find us wherever we are. Okay? It's manifesting. Yes, absolutely. Sage the house before planning sessions. Yes, I just Palo Santo'd and I've got candles burning and essential oils diffusing. I take this shit seriously. It's real. I had an energy clearing the other day because things just weren't flowing. I needed it. We all do. We're energy bodies walking around on this planet where things are freaking dark and shadowy sometimes. And if you're going to be a light worker, meaning you're going to do the work that your soul is here to do and build this business, then you need to be tending to your energy body. If you aren't, you're probably missing a big equation. Because again, it's all energy. It's all belief. It's all an inner game. And if you aren't doing that, if you aren't tending to that, you're probably missing out on a lot of opportunity. Because again, you can have the perfect structure and system and still lines can get crossed and things can go awry and it's not guaranteed. Okay? So I want you to know that. So that's the other thing. We have to be willing to do the work. We have to be willing to do the chop wood, carry water thing and show up consistently and put it out there. And I think we also need a sales funnel to do that, but not a traditional type of like click this and blah, blah, blah. I think we need something that feels soulfully aligned, but we need something that actually we can cast a wide net to bring people in, to let them know about our work, to let them know about what we're here to do and how we can help them. So there's that. Okay. So that is the top 5 that you guys wanted to know about. And I'm so happy to be able to share that with you today. I'll take a couple of questions for the next 5 or 10 minutes. If you want to pop any questions you have in the comment box, for those of you who are still with us live, I'd love to answer some questions. So anything that you are curious about or feeling stuck on, or anything that's popped up for you throughout this call so far, I'd love to be able to answer that for you. So I will take some questions. Let's see. Yes, just pop them in the box. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do that, and I'll just do them on a first come, first serve basis. So what do you need? What do you need right now that's feeling like a question mark, or that's been unanswered throughout this call, or just anything that you want to share? I'd love to hear from you and be able to support you with this. Okay. Great. Anybody? It might take a couple minutes for my eyes to load. Oh, yes. Ooh, what? Kristen, I feel like there's a typo there. I'm not quite sure what that means. What? Something of essential oils do you use to innervate and to awaken your creativity? Let's see. I'm sure that I could do more research around this, but I love to use a combination of, yes. I love like a citrus and I like tangerine, or doTERRA has this really awesome blend called Citrus Bliss, or grapefruit, or what do I have today? Tangerine and lemon is really nice for like that boost of energy. They also have a blend called Motivate and Elevation is another one. And then they have one called Arise, which I really love, which is part of the yoga collection. And I use that every morning in my meditation practice. I put the whole yoga collection on my body. I put I think it's Anchor is the first one. And I put that on the soles of my feet. And then I put Align on my heart space. And then I put Arise, like breathe that in. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. If you have any more questions about that, I can help you answer them. Just send me a message. Olivia, any advice for creating first website? Absolutely. I love this conversation. Okay, so first website, I recommend using Squarespace as a platform because it is really simple to use. It's super user-friendly. And if you have any questions about it, you can always go to YouTube and see the tutorials about how to do things. But ultimately, I think it's easy to create a beautiful website without much like expertise, and just kind of a good eye for design and what you want to see. So first website, I think Squarespace is the way to go. I think that you need a beautiful, like some people see, okay, so it depends here on what your actual intention is for people who visit your website. Do you want them to engage with your content? Do you want them to book a consultation call? Do you want them to sign up for your newsletter so that you can market and sell to them there? Like, where do you actually want people to meet you? And then I'd say make that really clear on your website. And also I think we need to develop a strong personal brand so that people really feel like my thought on a website is that I always want somebody to feel like they're meeting me in person when they go to my website. Like I want it to feel like an accurate reflection of my energy and my essence and who I am, so that they feel like they are able to meet me there because they're meeting me for the first time virtually in my virtual home and I'm inviting them in. I want that to feel like an accurate depiction of who I am and what I do and what that feels like to be with me. So that's one piece in terms of like design and branding. And then, yeah, I think gosh, this one is so individual, so it's hard to answer without knowing like everything about your business, because I actually had an offering at one point where I partnered with my friend Kara, who is an amazing energy healer, and she did a session with someone with she did like a higher self reading, and then I listened to it, decoded everything, got my own downloads about what their branding was supposed to look like, and then we met with the client, made sure that was feeling in alignment. We talked about colors and all the things, and then I would commission a logo for them. I would build their Squarespace website. It was really fun, actually. And we did sort of like a soulful branding situation and built a website and logos and graphics and everything, and also like positioned them with their photo shoot and stuff. So yes, I hope that's helpful. Olivia, let me know if you have any specific questions about first website. Okay, Kelly, I'm overwhelmed with understanding how my purpose should be turned into a business, as it's less direct than selling a product. My skill set is less defined than a particular business. Okay, Kelly, tell me what your skill sets are and what you want to do. What's feeling like a calling for you right now, love? Okay, bye, Nicole. Thanks for being here. Okay, what's your biggest challenge you've come across? How have you overcome it? Oh gosh. I will say this path of entrepreneurship is so uncertain and unknown, and it asks you to go into the unknown and to explore your shadow and to do your own work constantly. So I'm going to say that has been the biggest challenge, because it's been something that's consistent and never changes, right? Like it's just deepening all the time and asking me to go deeper, to feel more, to get more uncomfortable, to take more risks, to take bigger leaps. And I think the way that I overcome that is, one, I surround myself with amazing mentors and coaches and a team of sisters, or all the support I could possibly receive, so that I don't quit, so that I don't give up on it when it's hard and challenging, and that I can reframe and move through things that are difficult or that on the surface look really challenging, and move through them and learn and grow from them and be better for it. So yes, that's my behind the scenes data organization, helping others succeed is super fulfilling for me. Okay, so Kelly, are you thinking about like virtual assistant love? Like, are you thinking about business manager, or like what? It depends. We might have to have a private conversation about this. So I can really kind of get a feel for you and support you on your journey where you are. So by the way, if any of you are feeling like, oh yes, this was awesome, I need to have a deeper conversation about this, I want to invite you to head on over to schedule a Soulful Strategy call application, fill out the application, book the call. I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to support you at this stage of your journey and getting to the next level this year. I know that you are all here because you are ready for what's next and you're ready for more. And so I just want to encourage you, don't hold yourself back. Give yourself this gift, this time. Stop subscribing to all this strategy BS that's just going to keep you tired and feeling not good enough. Like, unsubscribe from stuff that is like you have to have the perfect sales funnel and network marketing thing and da 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 da. Okay, you don't need to listen to this anymore, number one. And I'm here to create your strategy that's actually soul-led, that only belongs to you and no one else. So let's take a moment, carve out that time, and actually get to your unique path of doing your work and pursuing your soul's calling. I'm going to pop that link to schedule that in the comments right now for you. It's actually through Calendly. And I would love to speak with you this week. I actually leave for San Francisco for a retreat with a mastermind that I'm in this year with my mentor, Nisha, and my sisters. Wednesday. So tomorrow I have some openings available, and I'd love to speak with you if you're feeling called to explore, or if you need support this year. I'd love to speak with you tomorrow. If you can't do tomorrow, I have some other openings on my calendar for next week. So thank you so much for being here. It has been so fun to jam with you today and to support you in this way and to connect with you here in this group. So thank you so much. And before we wrap up, I just want to give you a quick reminder that your soul did not come here on accident. It came here for a purpose, and it has work to do in this lifetime. So let's stop denying it. Let's stop resisting it. Stop doubting it, and let it out into the world, because it is for your own good and for the good of everyone else too, because witnessing you in your magnificence, in your zone of genius, in your powered thing is a gift for all of us. Okay? I love you. I see you. I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so excited to support you. And I can't wait to have some conversations with you guys to plan the next steps of your journey and get you on the path to fulfilling your soul's mission and building the business that your soul came here to create. And I know sometimes that can feel really confusing. So that's why I'm here. I've got you. I can help you. I can support you with this. It's the thing that I do. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for sticking around this whole time. I know this was only supposed to be like an hour, but I have way too much to share to keep it to an hour. So here we are, an hour and 45. All right, loves. Have an amazing Monday. Enjoy your day off if you're off. Enjoy your time back at work if you're working today. And talk with you all soon. Bye, loves.